As the Darksaber falls from Moff Gideon's hand, Djarin knocks him to the ground and holds the Beskar spear to the defeated Imperial leader's neck. Din has won a fight that at first took him off guard. Bo-Katan stands on the command deck of the Imperial light cruiser's bridge as the blast doors open, and Djarin walks in with Moff Gideon in shackles. Bo-Katan Kryze has an angry but curious look on her face. The deal was, Moff Gideon was to surrender to her and she was to obtain the Darksaber from him. Djarin had broken the deal with her. In her eyes, now, if she is to have a legitimate claim to the throne, she would have to defeat Djarin in single combat and take the Darksaber from him. So, why didn't Djarin know about the Darksaber? Today, on Star Wars Fanatic. If you are new to the channel or just haven't committed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Djarin's parents rush to get to the shelter from an incoming separatist invasion. The B-2 battle droids are not known for compassion. They will kill anything in their path to victory. When the young man's parents finally find the shelter, there is only enough time to secure him. Just as he is put into the bunker, his parents are killed just outside. He hears more fighting, then the bunker doors open. It's a man in strange armor, Mandalorian armor. The man lifts young Din out of the bunker and carries him to safety. Din notices a symbol on the stranger's shoulder, the symbol Star Wars fans recognize as the Death Watch. Years later, the child Grogu has been taken by Moff Gideon from Djarin. Djarin and Boba Fett recruit the help of Bo-Katan Kryze and her night owl, Casca Reeves. At first, she is reluctant to join, but when Mando tells her that Moff Gideon has the child, she is on board. They leave and meet up with the rest of the rescue party, Cara Dune and Fennec Shand. While making the plans to rescue the child, Bo-Katan tells the others that no matter what happens, Moff Gideon is to surrender to her. All agree, including Djarin. The deal has been made, and for a Mandalorian to break the deal means to go against the code. However, when they begin the rescue mission, Djarin fights them off and defeats him, unarming him and taking the Darksaber, seemingly unknowing of what it actually was and why it was so important to her. Also, he broke the deal he made with Bo-Katan, that the Moff was to yield to her. Sure, the leader of the Imperial Remnant attacked him when he was trying to rescue Grogu, but that was partially his own fault, as he left his guard down for just a moment. So here's my question. Okay, a couple questions. Why didn't Djarin know about the Darksaber and what it was, considering he was raised by former members of Death Watch? Why didn't he notify Bo-Katan when he found Moff Gideon and Grogu? Djarin was raised as a child of the Watch, even though he didn't understand what that was. A lot of speculation has been floating around as to who they are and where they came from. In Season 1 of The Mandalorian, it shows Djarin being rescued as a child by Mandalorians. At least one of those Mandalorians wears a Death Watch emblem on his shoulder. The Darksaber was a Death Watch artifact. It was created by the first Mandalorian Jedi, and the only one that I'm aware of, named Tar Vizsla. After his death, it was taken to the vault in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and kept there for a long time. That is, until a member of Death Watch broke in and stole it. It was passed down through the generations until we see it for the first time being wielded by Pre Vizsla, the leader of Death Watch at the time, during the early days of the Clone Wars. So, Death Watch holds the Darksaber dear to them. Then why didn't Djarin's mentors teach him about it? He seemed clueless about the Darksaber when Bo-Katan told him about it. Then again, when Moff Gideon showed it to him. Well, if you know me, you know I have a theory. When Djarin was rescued as a child and became a Mandalorian foundling, the Clone Wars was still going on. We don't know if it was early in the Clone Wars or later, but I speculate it was sometime in the middle, due to Din's age. This could have been just after Maul defeating Pre Vizsla and taking the Darksaber and ruling Mandalore from behind the scenes. During this time, about a third of Death Watch splintered away. Bo-Katan formed the Night Owls, and others could have went a completely different direction. That's speculation, of course. During the Clone Wars, Mandalorians weren't known to get into a battle between the Republic and Separatists. So, the Mandalorians may have been in hiding on Din's planet when it was attacked by the Separatists. Hence, the reason these Mandalorians were there in the battle. As for not knowing about the Darksaber, Bo-Katan says the Children of the Watch are religious zealots. Religion usually centers around a being or group of beings as deities. In this case, the deity would be Mandalore of the past. To explain it a bit better, this group of Mandalorians felt deceived by those who wielded the Darksaber and didn't see it as divine right. Just because you held an ancient laser sword, the Darksaber became just an object to them, and they focused more attention on the Mandalorian leaders before the pacifists or Darth Maul took over. In a nutshell, they were evolving into more of a true Mandalorian culture as led by Jaster Muriel and Jango Fett. Only they still may have been harboring some extremist views left over from their Death Watch days. Being that he was raised by these religious extremists, it would explain why he is naive in the way of the Mandalorian factions or cultures, and they wanted to forget the Darksaber, so they didn't teach it to him. Now, to my next question. Why didn't he contact Bo-Katan when he ran into Moff Gideon? Well, Moff Gideon was very convincing when he was telling Mando to take the child. He even told him, "Leave my ship and never return." He reached for Grogu and was attacked from behind. He was then in defense mode from that point on. For a Mandalorian to call for backup for one Imperial officer would have been disgraceful, especially since he didn't really understand what it meant defeating Moff Gideon. He didn't know much about the Darksaber as it was, or its history, the actual importance of it to other Mandalorians, or how it had been obtained. So, he didn't think too much of disarming Moff Gideon, sparing his life like he was asked, then bringing him to Bo-Katan. It wasn't until Moff Gideon explained the Darksaber to him that he started to get it. He didn't call for backup because he didn't understand the severity of what he was doing. His pride told him he could handle one Imperial, and he thought he honored the deal by bringing Gideon to Bo-Katan alive. So what we see in The Mandalorian, Din Djarin has a lot to learn about the galaxy as a whole, but I think he has a better grasp of it than he does of other Mandalorian cultures. He was taught only one way, and it seems he was sheltered from other Mandalorian ways. If they are setting him up to be the Mandalore, or at least in ruling class of Mandalorians, then he has to learn about the other factions and how they have interacted with each other throughout history and how they've affected each other. The good news is, he has been taught that Jedi are ancient enemies of Mandalorians. Not that it's good to be their enemies, but this isn't a Death Watch belief, as Death Watch teamed up with Jedi to defeat the true Mandalorians. Yes, Death Watch tricked the Jedi, but anyone being raised as a true Mandalorian would know of it and consider Jedi an enemy, just as he was taught. Those are just my thoughts, though. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you have another theory for these two questions? Let's hear it. I love engaging with my viewers. If you are new to the channel, or you just haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on my Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, and general Star Wars content and releases. Also, hit the thumbs up to show your love for what I do here and share the video with a friend. Let's take this channel to the whole new level. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way. The only way.